Hi, and welcome to Boomcast, the podcast from the home of collaboration, Boombox. I'm Fabio from Noize.
And I'm musicbylukas.
Today, our special guest is incredibly talented music producer, singer, and YouTuber, PLV Music.
Hello.
So Fabio, you were just at like a conference for boombox.io and you got to find out some like top secret stuff that's coming up. So what is it that you found out that you're excited about that people need to know? Like, what are the updates coming from Boombox?
So if you are a user of Boombox or thinking about becoming a user of Boombox, there are some really exciting new features, including desktop sync, which means that you'll be able to synchronize your DAW files, and something I know that you're very excited about, Lucas, which is artist profiles.
Yeah, so the artist profiles, I think, are the coolest feature coming from Boombox, which is where you're going to be able to create your own profile so that people can find you to collab with you, but also so you can search for other artists, vocalists, engineers, etc. to collab with from different genres. You're going to be able to add all your information, and it's just going to be such a cool feature, I think, to help people be able to connect and collab. So I'm super excited for it.
Don't forget that every month Boombox is giving away $500, and all you have to do is comment down below with
who your favorite music influencer is. Like, who's your favorite music influencer, producer on Instagram or YouTube, etc.
Bonus points if you write Music by Lucas. Just saying.
So let's hop into it. I think this is a really cool chance for us to be able to, we're all in different countries right now. We're all in different parts of the world. And the coolest thing, I think, is that we have all proven that, anyone can really be able to make a name for themselves online. Like PLV, you're always talking about how like you don't need to go to music school to become, someone successful in the music industry. And I did want to touch on that. Maybe that's a good place to start, like how you got started, what your background was and how you got to where you are now.
Right, yeah. So I started literally when I had absolutely zero knowledge about it. And that is why I decided to start when I did, because I really wanted to show everything like since day one, basically. And the only thing I had before, like, I think I started 2 months after learning what a DAW was, basically. And before that, when I was really, really young, I did like a little bit of choir and like music theory for like 2 years or something. And then I was going to do some piano, but at the time I decided to go to sports. So I kind of like forgot about music. But the call was too strong, and at some point I was like, no, I really want to make music. I was listening to music literally every single day, 24/7, was dreaming about making my own songs, releasing my own songs. Yeah, basically that's it. And when I wanted to start learning music, I tried to look for anyone's, advice, but I realized that no one shows the beginning, that everyone arrives and be like, hey, I'm a genius at making music.
Right.
And so no one shows like the 10 years that it takes before, being really good at it. So I decided, let's document my journey. Maybe it'll help some people on the way,
Have you always been like extroverted like that? Because I think a lot of people are nervous to show the struggles and the hard times. So like what like pushed you out there? Was there anyone that inspired you to do that? Or like, was it just the fact that no one was doing it?
Actually, there's two things that did the spark, that did the spark in my head. Is I was reading the book, The Compound Effect, which is about, because I had so many things I wanted to do, but I was not focusing on one. So I was just average on everything. And I wanted to be really good at one thing. And so that book made me understand that I was just having to commit on one thing. And Crush It by Gary Vee said something like in his book, like, document rather than create. And that's what did the switch in my brain, where I was like, you know what, he's so right. Like, I would have loved to see how the Beatles started, making music, or how they learned how to make music. It would have been amazing. Not saying that I'm going to become that, by the way. It's just an example.
Right, you'd be way bigger.
Yeah, it's just those two things. And, I'm often showing as well my very first video recording, which was very, very bad. But it just gets easier as you do it. And I think as well, I started when I was already like 25 or something like this. So I had already read a lot about, self-development and all, which in a way helped me, get over my fear of judgment, which made me start this. I think I wouldn't have had the courage to start it at like 18, for example.
At what point did you decide that you wanted to start a brand? And what does PLV stand for?
Oh, that's a tattoo that I have, PLNV. It's for Paris, London, and Vancouver, which are the cities that I lived in.
Cool.
And I had this tattoo like way before starting this PLV thing. It's just when looking for an artist name, I was like, PLV sounds good, and it represents me and who I am because of all the evolution I had. So yeah.
So which country are you moving to next, and are you going to keep adding the letters?
Yeah, I was supposed to. That's why there was an empty spot here. But no, I think Vancouver is my spot.
Just to follow on with that question, at what point did you...
Right.
What made you want to build a brand and go full-time as a content creator?
I think, well, my job that I had before was a visual effects artist for movies. And so it's just like the video aspect, movies, and that's why all my videos are more like cinematic documentaries, storytelling style, with like B-rolls and all, and like mixed with music and sound effects and all. That kind of does the YouTube, which is like my two passions linked together, which I really enjoy. And I think I really enjoy this aspect so much, and when I get comments of people saying that I've inspired them and motivated them by showing what the real journey is, it really makes me I'm happy. Like it makes me happy to hear this, and that's what makes me happy. So I wanted to continue this YouTube content creation style. It just makes me feel like I'm helping people, like I'm doing a positive impact, and that's something I really care about.
A lot of producers struggle with social media in particular, and it becomes a thing that's like an extra chore that they have to do, but they don't want to do. What's your advice for producers to get past that and to make social media a little bit more authentic, a little bit easier for them?
I think at first I'd say like, don't try to like aim, for like what they say, like post once a day or whatever. Like just do it like to enjoy it. Like make the videos that you want to make, make it you. Because this way, if you make it enjoyable for you, then you'll probably want to do more and you'll get into the habit of doing content. Yeah, also, I think right now, social media is so important for producers. Like, that's how Jake got discovered, for example. Like, that's how artists get discovered every day. So, but yeah, I think just go about it chill at first, make it enjoyable for you. And yeah.
You're not so chill about it now.
No.
So, what challenges are you facing with the amount of content that you're creating at the moment?
Right now, it's definitely to keep up because it gets really tiring at some point, posting every couple days, a newsletter on Tuesday, YouTube community post here and there, a YouTube video on Sunday. Like, it's so much that sometimes I'm really getting tired, and I do feel the need of like stepping out from social media here and there. There's always like right now, last month I took like a 2 weeks mini vacation, which really helped, and now I'm really like I'm ready for it again. Right. So it just comes and goes. Like it is hard. It's just like a roller coaster, ups and downs, and ride it.
One issue that a lot of artists also face, I think, is that they get so caught up in social media and marketing their music and doing, like you said, newsletters and all these different tasks that you have to do, that sometimes you lose time for your own musical, things that you want to do with your own music. Like you don't have time to actually do, get in the studio and make the tracks and stuff like that. Or for you, maybe you have like another, hobby or thing you want to do that you have to block out time for because you got to do the newsletter or whatever instead. How do you balance all that? Do you have any advice on that topic?
I'm not the best at it, to be honest. Right now, I'm like putting myself more of a rule that every day after like 6, 7, I'm done. Like no more work. It's time for either music or other hobbies, like really hobbies. Like I'm not making music for a YouTube video or for me or something. I'm really like putting myself like hard rules and like hard boundaries. It's really hard, but yeah. Otherwise, I would say for someone that still has a full-time job, like the way I've done it when I had a full-time job is to use like a Google Calendar and block my time. It really helps because at the end of a day at work, you can be so tired that you don't want to think like, oh, what can I do? Should I work on this part of my song or that one or maybe this one? If you know it ahead of time, you go straight to it, and it's way easier to find time to make music because you organize your life around what you want to do.
Are you more of a morning or evening person? And if
Morning.
so, what kind of tasks do you like to prioritize in the morning then?
In the morning, I do a lot of writing and brainstorming, like everything that is like that takes a lot of brain resources. I like to do this
because you're fresh
first.
in the morning.
Yeah, exactly. Because then after I get tired, like the editing, I'll do it in the afternoon, stuff like that.
The more stuff that's robotic-ish, like that you can just click the buttons. Yeah, exactly.
For those of you watching or listening, PLV has got some amazing products out there. So I suggest you go to her Instagram, check out the link in bio. What I want to know is, how did you decide to create the products that you have, and maybe let our audience know what you have created too?
Right, yeah, I mean, the most popular one right now is like the 12-month plan to learn music production at home. And it basically goes, it basically follows what I've done that first year of when I started to learn music production, and that I had to, figure out everything on my own with YouTube videos and resources online and all this. Like, it takes so much time.
Right.
So I basically divided all this in 12 months to give, like, every month is one focus to, to learn new genres, to produce more songs, to finish songs, to start social media, find people to collab with. Like, I'm really going through every single aspects of, the introduction to being a music producer. And it's just month by month, and people can just follow it, and it's way easier than like having to figure out yourself, for like 2 years online. So yeah, I was just trying to help like that.
That's a good point. And do you, because you're so busy with all the different things going on, have you gotten to the point where you've started, outsourcing and started building your own team to assist with things like editing and the general day-to-day?
Yeah, I did with one person, which is a music producer friend that we met when I did my first online class. And since the day one, he was like supporting me. And I then learned after that he was like me, a visual effects artist at the time, and that he knows video editing and all this. So now he's helping me with video editing. I'm probably outsourcing like 1 to 2 videos, like YouTube videos a month. And I started this like, here and there last year, and now it's more every month. But yeah, that's definitely one. And then he has another friend that helps me with some Instagram reels here and there. But I'm still, I think, not delegating enough. And that's one thing about like being the entrepreneur side that I'm starting to learn, that I think I need to, because like my videos take me like 20 hours to edit.
Right.
It is so much time.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's
so
a lot.
much time. So yeah, I definitely need to do it more.
All right, and now it is time for our out-of-the-box question, where we ask an off-topic question. And today, since we're talking, actually, it's kind of on-topic, but it's also off-topic because it's not about music. But since we're talking about entrepreneurship, my question for you guys is, if you could start another entrepreneurial business that has to have nothing to do with music, what would be this other business that you would start?
I think for me, I know, because that's something I have in my head. But I think it's a...
Ooh, clothing brand?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Like sportswear, like Galaxy type of things. Ooh. Definitely. Yeah, I kind of already have like designs in my head and names and all, and that's kind of something that I have in the back if this doesn't work. But yeah, it's cool. Definitely, entrepreneurship minds always think about business ideas and all, so yeah.
It would be one of two things: a sunglasses brand. I mean, I feel like that makes sense.
This makes sense.
It's an easy sell. I get asked every day where they're from. And the reason I haven't told people where my glasses are from is because this brand refuses to give me a sponsorship. They're like, we don't do sponsorship deals. And I'm like, why?
So you're like, not telling anyone.
Exactly.
Then, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the way to do it.
Right? And the other thing is that it would be a restaurant. For sure. My girlfriend and I both love to cook. She's American but of Korean heritage, and so we fuse our flavors together between sort of Korean, Sichuanese,
in life
from
and
China.
In food.
Exactly. So Korean, Sichuanese, and Italian. Yeah.
I would start a coffee shop. I've always wanted to, and I think I still might, honestly. I've been into coffee for a very long time, and I get really into like the specialty blends. Like if one of my favorite brands of coffee comes out with some like one of a kind whatever, I'm like a sneakerhead but with coffee. And then in my coffee shop, I'm gonna sell your PLV's merch, your clothes, and I'm gonna sell Noize London sunglasses.
Let's
obviously.
It's perfect.
It's just going to be a collaboration. It's the boombox of coffee shops.
You expressed earlier that you're introverted, and we're kind of touching on the question that I want to ask now, which is, what challenges have you faced working alone and being an entrepreneur? Because obviously our art is so important to us, even the content, right? We consider our own art.
Oh, yeah.
And when we delegate, we give up a little bit of that control. So what challenges do you face when working alone, and how do you manage sharing your work with other people?
Right now, I'd say is to figure out what I should focus on, like to grow my business, to grow, my music and all this. Because you don't have your boss telling you what to do anymore, right? So
you're your own boss, exactly.
Yeah, it is really hard because sometimes, like I don't have any trouble to work. Like I'm working like a lot every day. Like I'm not chilling on the couch. I'm good with self-discipline, but it's just sometimes at the end of like a 10, 12 hours day, I'm like, was it worth it? Like, was it the best I could do today? Because I don't know, maybe it was useless. So that's the one thing that I'm really struggling with. And about delegating my work, it definitely took me some time. And I think I'm still having this problem for the Instagram Reels that I could, like right now I have like 4 or 5 filmed, but I just don't send them to my other editor because I don't know.
Right.
Because I like doing it.
Well, it's really interesting because there was a book that I recently, I haven't finished it yet, I'll be honest, but it's really interesting. It's called the EMyth. And in this book, I don't know the author's name off the top of my head, but he explains that every entrepreneur, it's the entrepreneur myth, the EMyth. And he's explaining that every entrepreneur is actually 3 people in one. And this is the reason why most entrepreneurs fail, because you're the entrepreneur, which is the one that has the big ideas and wants to, plan out the next phase. You're the manager who has to manage the day-to-day and has to also make sure all the tasks gets done. And you're the technician, which is the one who actually does the work. So the one who produces the music, who sits there on the calls, etc. And he's explaining that all 3 types of manager, entrepreneur, and technician all need different things, but a lot of times we don't give ourselves the room or the resources to be able to be in all 3 areas. So you have to look at which one is like your strength. Like, are you more the big idea person? Are you more the one who just wants to sit down and get the work done? Or are you more the one who wants to manage and delegate? And if you can figure out which one of those 3 that you are, then you can start to outsource the other 2, and it can make it easier for you to be able to get things done. So I thought that was really mind-opening for me.
Yeah, no, it's genius. It's absolutely where I am struggling right now, and more and more and more I realize that I really need to start delegating all the editing, like literally all the editing. And it did take me some time. Like I know last year it was like here and there, and it did take us some time to get the workflow of working with an editor put in place. Now I know that I can send the video and I almost have to say nothing. It's all good. I just need feedback, give feedback every day, here and there. But it did take us like a year to really get into the routine, and I tried probably like a few different editors until I found the one I really needed that understood what I wanted. So yeah, it was a struggle, and I'm still struggling with it, but I'm working towards it for sure.
How can music artists make money in 2023? What are the different avenues besides just selling my beats? What would you tell them?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, now these days, there's so many different avenues. And that's the thing, like now, it's not just about, making it to the top class DJ and producers and touring and all. You can definitely make your music online. But yeah, you can sell your own digital products, like sample packs, preset packs, whatever, vocals, guitar loops. If you're a really good guitarist, then you can sell your services on Fiverr, Upwork, and stuff like this. Definitely affiliation and sponsorship. That's one that I'm doing, as being a content creator, about music. Or, I know, for example, yesterday I was in a coaching session and the guy wanted to release an album that it's gonna, all his content is gonna be about wearing this cyberpunk kind of clothing. So to release and do all the promotion of his album, he's gonna reach out to that brand. So
nice.
You don't even have to be a content creator. If just as a music producer, if you have a project like this, you can reach out to a brand that makes sense for your album. And that's also a way that you can do it. As I said, coaching as well that you can do, if you're really good at sound design or really good at whatever, there's this, obviously there's royalties still. I know I have a friend who does a lot of those like lo-fi chill beats.
Yeah.
But by a lot, I mean like he releases every week. And now he's able to go onto those big playlists and it compounds over time. And now he lives off of royalties, and he's absolutely like not known whatsoever.
Yeah.
He's just a kid making music in his bedroom, releasing lo-fi beats and stuff like this like every week and living from that, which is amazing.
Is amazing.
Yeah, so
royalties
many
are no
ways.
joke. I have music royalties I get for songs I wrote years ago, and I still get them. So, yeah.
PLV, thank you so much for being a guest on our podcast. It was an absolute pleasure.
Yes.
Yeah, me too. Thank you for having me. Pleasure.
Yeah, I really enjoyed your answers. I think they're going to help a lot of people. And also, don't forget to comment below who your favorite music YouTuber or Instagrammer or music entrepreneur is down in the comments, because every month Boombox is picking someone who comments to give a $500 gift card to for your studio or software, whatever you need.
Thank you so much to everyone for watching and listening. I am at Noize London.
I'm at Music by Lucas.
I'm at Music by PLV.
And we'll see you very soon. Peace.